Greetings, dear listeners. Hope you're all doing well. We're out here today in the Potter's Field of the old cemetery, the Potter's Field. Now, if you're not familiar with the term Potter's Field, the Potter's Field was the part of the cemetery where they buried people who were unable to afford a funeral or a gravestone. It was also the section of the cemetery where they buried the homeless, transients, unknown people, and in this town, men, and they were all men, who were hanged at the local jail. Now I found that very surprising because where I grew up in Ontario, they were always buried in the jail yard. But out here in Regina, they buried them in the Potter's Field without any monument or tombstone, I guess as a final punishment or a final indignity. Now, when we were out here filming last year, a very nice cemetery worker directed our attention to a monument, a gravestone that had been put up by the family of a lady who had been a member of a religious order. Unfortunately, I don't remember which one, but apparently you're supposed to put money down as a sign of respect and remembrance, so we will do just that. But what I really wanted to draw your attention to is the grave marker right next to hers. And that says Henry W. Heipel, 1914 to 1939. Now that surprised me because Harry Heipel was hanged in Regina on April the 26th, 1939 for the November 1938 murder of John Kaiser of Moosomin, Saskatchewan, who had picked Harry up in his 1938 Chrysler Coupe, his gray 1938 Chrysler Coupe. Harry hit him with a wrench, shot him 4 times, and dumped his body in a snowdrift. He then drove the Chrysler to Winnipeg, abandoned it, fled to the United States, was arrested, brought back to Regina, tried, condemned, and hanged for John's murder. Now, I hope to make a full-length true crime video about the case, but for that, I'm going to need the services of the studio. But I thought today we would show you Harry's final resting place. Now, if you live in Canada and want more information about the case, I recommend the book Boiling Point and Cold Cases. Boiling Point and Cold Cases by Barb Pakalik and Jana Pruden, 2 very fine journalists and 2 extremely nice ladies I had the pleasure of meeting many, many years ago now. This is where I learned most of my information about the case. So, R.I.P. poor lady, R.I.P. Harry, but R.I.P. poor John Kaiser, brutally murdered for an act of kindness. Never forget the victims. I'm now going to ask the lovely and talented camera crew to give us a panorama shot of the old Regina Cemetery, the restful old Regina Cemetery. Stay safe. Until midnight, cheers.